Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Game, and it's 79 on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Moonlight Castle. So yeah, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Look at them cute boys. Look at all of them. Delicious. Oh, sorry, I'm being weird. Okay. That is an essential and well-needed break. Everyone has a different way of organizing their thoughts. Blake handed me a slice, and I briskly dug into it with my spoon. My jaw dropped in awe at the touch of ice cream melting in my mouth. It was a mind-blowing experience. The flavors blended so well and harmoniously. They gave me actual goosebumps. I'm shaking with joy. I looked around to see everyone's reaction. This is so good, beyond the usual good. If I tried to put it into words, I wouldn't have enough time to eat the ice cream before it melted. Ryan was tapping his feet under the table like a toddler. This was probably one of his happiest moments yet. This is ice cream, right? It tastes different from other ice cream I've had. I wonder why. Different ingredients yield different tastes and textures. High-quality components constitute a major part of good end results. It's quite elementary. When Russell commented on the ice cream, I could see Clyde twitch a little. You haven't touched your slice at all. Blake was talking to Liam. The ice cream in front of the Lynx was melting. It seemed to be completely untouched from the moment the spotted feline had received it. Oh no, are you lactose intolerant? I'm so sorry. I should have asked beforehand. No, Liam sighed. I can eat dairy just fine. What's troubling you then? The Lynx gave everyone a quick glance and all of us looked at him. Is it really okay if I have this? Of course. Of course. I made this for our group, so... That's not what I meant! Liam cut off the dragon again. The Lynx didn't really spell out what was troubling him. Clyde appeared worried. It seemed he was feeling bad for the spotted feline. Also, it looked like Blake was ready to take it over and say something, and even if he wasn't, Ryan would be. Clyde stopped both the wolf and the bear, however. Give him space. He's trying to process what to say. Everyone was so eager to make assumptions about Liam that we all forgot to give him a chance to properly express himself. It's not right for me to have this. You said it was a token of your thanks, but I haven't done anything to deserve it. In fact, don't I deserve the opposite? The dragon smiled at Liam. He was happy to see the Lynx open up a little. May I sit here? Clyde waited a bit to make sure that the Lynx was feeling comfortable enough to let someone enter his personal space. Liam's definitely got a bit of social anxiety. Or he may actually have a social disorder. Then the dragon picked up a chair and put it as close as possible to the spotted feline after making sure that it was okay with him. You're a troublemaker. There's no denying that. The Lynx slightly turned away. But we're gathering here today because of you, thanks to your inappropriate comment back then, when we were in the council room, which started all this. I thought you didn't know what it meant. Blake enlightened me on it. Liam was flustered a bit, his face turning red. Well then, you should understand that what I said was bad. I still can't have this. Allow me to recite your words, then. You said you haven't done anything to deserve the ice cream, correct? Yeah? Very well, then. The solution is simple. What if I say that I'd earned you the right to have this dessert I brought if you agreed to do something for me afterward? There was a pause. Liam still hadn't turned back to face Clyde, and nobody dared to say a word. But soon, in the midst of that silence, the Lynx scooped up some ice cream. I guess I could do that. He chewed a little, and the powerful combination of flavors got him, exactly how it got everyone else. It's good. Now, regarding my request, I hope you're ready to hear it. Wait, about that, I had an idea what the dragon was about to ask Liam to do, and I tried to jump in before I'd miss the chance. I see. It seems another assistant will be joining us. Quickly, Clyde reassured me. It was as if he'd read my mind. Let's discuss this further in the council room after our lunch break. When lunchtime was over, everyone other than Clyde, Liam, Dylan, and I went on their ways to attend their classes. The four of us remained seated at the table. We were waiting for the Lynx to finish his late eating. There, I'm done. Excellent. Now let's make haste. This little ordeal has set us back, and some catching up is in order. Clyde was the first to stand up from the table, and, to Liam's and my surprise, Dylan also stood up immediately after the dragon did. Second, y'all. Water time. Oh, man. This is weird tasting water. It says it's cherry blossom bubbly water, but I feel like this is made by someone who has no concept of what a cherry blossom actually is. This tastes like cherry medicine. Or cherry cough syrup, I should say, which is weird. Because cherry blossoms don't actually taste like cherries. He's coming too? I did think it was strange that he stuck around even after he'd finished eating. The crocodile put himself in the front of the council president and led the way to the council room. As we were walking in line, I leaned forward in such a way that my head was approaching Clyde from the side. I wanted to get the dragon's attention without alerting Dylan. What's the matter? Before I could ask Clyde why Dylan was coming with us, Liam pulled me back and suddenly directed his gaze at our surroundings. Look! There were girls trying to approach us, and I immediately realized what was going on. They were probably members of Clyde's fan club, and I shuddered to think of the awful time they'd given us yesterday. Today, however, the girls backed off as soon as Dylan gave them a glare, and now I knew why he was brought along. The dragon was most likely relying on the crocodile's grumpy face to shoo away any unwanted attention. We managed to get to our destination without much difficulty. Liam and I sat down at Clyde's desk on the same chairs as everyone, the same chairs as yesterday. The lynx gave me a nudge. He probably noticed it and found it funny, too. So, what's the favor? Liam asked the dragon, but he was interrupted by Dylan's loud stomping. It seemed the crocodile was heading for something in the room. Excuse me for a second. Clyde stood up, and then he moved ahead of Dylan. Soon afterward, the dragon revealed and opened the refrigerator that he'd mentioned earlier. Wow, you weren't kidding! The dragon then walked back to us. Please, help yourself. Feel free to take anything that tackles your interest. There's a wide selection of sweets, only the best to keep oneself motivated. I could still feel the ice cream from earlier, so there was no way I'd eat anything more. Dylan, on the other hand, didn't seem to care that much. He leaned forward and grabbed a pudding from the top shelf. What's the meaning of this? I was a little distracted by the reptile, who tucked himself in a corner away from us and eagerly nommed the pudding. He was chowing it down really fast, as if he was afraid that someone was going to steal it from him. Well, which one of us are you asking? Clyde chuckled at his own question. He knew that Liam was asking both of them, and he continued to speak without waiting for the lynx's answer. Yesterday I took note of the deal between you and Dylan, so I summoned him to have a little chat. I needed a way to move around the school without being pestered, and striking a deal with him was the most convenient solution. He agreed to accept food as a reward for escorting me around. It was a fast and safe way to keep my admirers at bay. What? But you always ask me for money. Why does Clyde get away with giving you just food? Your food sucks. The crocodile kept chomping and gobbling as he answered without leaving the corner. We could all sense the sheer gluttony from the way he talked. He was speaking to us with a mouthful, and there was not a single moment when he looked away from his food. I guess that's a fair point. Now, regarding my request, please don't fret. It's quite simple, time-consuming at most. You and Joel will help me prepare a dessert for tonight. Liam was confused. He looked at the fridge at Dylan's pudding that was long gone, and then back at Clyde. Are you messing with me? Pardon? The lynx gesticulated at all the fancy desserts around us and the one we had earlier. Why would you need my help when you've already shown everyone how good you're at making food? The dragon widened his eyes, realizing what he'd stumbled on. I think you see how weird this looks from his perspective. It's true, I've made a mistake. Lies eventually catch up with everyone. What do you mean? I don't know how to cook or make anything. I've never been in a kitchen. It's quite embarrassing. You told us someone helped you. Was that a lie, too? Yes, I apologize. I panicked and gave everyone a misleading answer. So you bought the thing and took all the credit. I didn't buy it. However, in retrospect, I should have said that I bought it. I've made a fool out of myself. What do you mean you didn't buy it? Clyde was clearly struggling to utter his words. Yeah, nobody but himself to blame. My personal chef made it for me after learning about the trip. Shocked, Liam and I exchanged a glance in silence. You have a what? Clyde sighed, his hand running through his beard. I come from a wealthy family. People are hired to take care of our needs of any kind. Though, please don't ask about it. I just like sharing matters about my family. Second, y'all. Water time. Does anyone know about this? I'd shared this information only with Blake. Please keep this a secret. People have already treated me differently from everyone else, and I don't wish to escalate any further. I'd never hear the end of it if they were to discover my roots. They won't find out. It's a fair trade for the snack. You're being silly, Liam. Everything I've done for you, Joel, and the others is simply because we're friends. There's no bribery here. If that's how it is, then I'll try my best to help you tonight. A small warning, though. I'm not that great at cooking. That's perfectly fine. Russell will be giving us guidance and telling us what to do. What about you, Joel? I scratched my cheek, embarrassed to admit that I was in the same boat as them. Okay, I see how it is. Let's make sure not to ruin this kitchen, then. He's kind enough to let us stay and use it as we please. I'll try. Clyde should be saying that to himself. As a matter of fact, he's the most dangerous among us here. The dragon was a little flustered. I gave Liam a light prod with my elbow to stop him before he had a chance to cross another line. What? This time I'm saying it to a friend, not the council president. Clyde appeared more relaxed after hearing that. My worry was lifted enough that I was able to crack a cunning smile at Liam. What? Don't you dare! That was cute. Hey, Clyde, what's the plan? I laughed at Liam's desperate attempt to steer our conversation back on track. In the meantime, Clyde pulled open one of his big drawers and dove in it. His head was pretty much completely obscured while he was shuffling through the drawer, and he was happily wagging his tail the entire time. Ah, there you are. Clyde showed us a book. From looking at the cover, I assumed it was a collection of recipes. I've been thinking about it for a while now, and my interest was piqued by several of these options. I'd like to hear your opinions on them. The dragon pointed at a few items in the book. All the things he picked were very fancy and definitely way too complicated for us to make. However, knowing his taste, I wasn't surprised. Clyde, how do I say this? These are way too hard for us. You'll have to lower the bar there. You think so? I don't need to be a chef to see that. Do you have a proposal, then? I did have an idea. There was a dish I knew that suited Clyde's aesthetic taste, and it wouldn't require any great skills to create. Can I see the book? Clyde passed the book to me, and I gave it a quick scan. What about this one? Oh, I recognize this. Tiramisu? I love tiramisu. You know what else I love more than tiramisu? Cheesecake. You know what I love as much as cheesecake? Key lime pie, baby. God, I want a key lime pie now, but it's too late. No! Too much sugar. No, none. Maybe another time. Alright. It's an easy recipe compared to what Clyde picked earlier, but don't you need to separate the yolks from the whites for it? I remember that shit being hard. We can always get Russell to help us do the difficult parts, no? And no help from professionals. This is our challenge, and we shall succeed on our own. I'm not taking any responsibility for this. And don't worry, everything will work out just fine. Tiramisu. Is this what we're making, then? I like tiramisu. Suddenly, Dylan walked to us and chimed in. He gave Clyde a brief stare and then returned the empty plate that used to have pudding on it. We got our blessing. The reptile then walked away as the three of us were sharing a laugh. That's perfect. I'll text Russell so he can have the ingredients ready. Second now, water time. My ears twitched at the sound of a doorknob. I guess he was interested only in knowing what dessert we were making for tonight. I excused myself and went after Dylan before he had a chance to disappear again. Dylan, wait! I found him on the staircase. It looked like he was heading somewhere on the floor above. What? Thanks for sticking around, even if you didn't want to. I just had to say it. He helped me a lot today, but I didn't want to lose any chance to show him my gratitude. Too polite. He muttered something, but it was too low for me to hear it properly. Can you repeat that? Ooh, excuse me, y'all. Carbonation, it'll do it to you. I did it only because I'd benefit from it as well. Got it? Stop assuming things about me. He continued to walk up the stairs, showing no interest in what I might have to say. Seeing him ignore my feelings like that upset me. It reminded me of that person. Would it kill you to just take a compliment? My words stopped him. The reason behind it doesn't matter to me. You've been good, so just shut the fuck up and take the praise. Crocodile turned around to face me, and I expected from him at least a glare or a chase. However, he just stood there and stared at me with a shocked expression. I covered my mouth, realizing that I just raised my voice at him. Ashamed of that, I fled back to the council room. I caught a glimpse of Dylan extending his arm forward in an attempt to stop me, but it was to no avail, as I was already far out of his reach. Apparently, Clyde and Liam were still in the council room. It seemed they were waiting for me. You good? Did he yell at you or something? Liam assumed the most likely scenario, and I just went along with it so I didn't have to explain the disheartened look on my face. Yeah, something like that. Let me give you some advice because you seem to be interested in Dylan. Just don't. You're not helping. I'm serious. I've known that guy longer than Patrice has, and he's unpredictable. I disagreed, Liam. Sorry for barging in, but I wouldn't want Joel to think that it's okay to abandon someone only because they're difficult to approach. You guys haven't seen it yet. Why do you think people were scared of him, Clyde? The dragon was quiet. It seemed he wasn't able to provide a proper answer. He probably knew that the crocodile's grumpiness alone shouldn't be bad enough to constantly keep people away. Don't tell us. I don't want to hear it. Both Liam and Clyde turned to face me with an astonished expression on their faces. All of us have things that we don't want to say or aren't ready to say. Dylan himself should be the one to speak, not you. Fine, then, if that's how you feel about it. You have my warning, at least. Liam took his belongings and walked toward the door. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!